Welcome to the unboxing part of this DVD, and today we're going to unbox a Facetron, a lapidary luxury, as their motto says. The Facetron, when it ships, comes in two boxes. They ship the heads separately from the base and splash pan and some of the other accoutrements. So we're going to unbox the Facetron and look at everything that's in the box and kind of review what all the parts are. It's a good idea to have a nice trusty razor knife, right? Instead of tearing up your pocket knife or using something that's not really very good and then you wind up hurting yourself. Sharp knife is a safe knife, as they used to say in the Boy Scouts. So we're going to cut the tape. This is what the Facetron looks like. This is a brand new machine. It was just shipped to me recently. Be careful, spend a little extra time, cut the tape carefully. Don't penetrate far into the box with the knife. You may cut your splash pan or something. Cut just the box. It's important when you're unboxing your machine that you have plenty of workspace, that the table that you're working on is nice and sturdy, nice and steady. This one I could jump on it if I wanted to. It'll really hold me well. Also, you really want it to be clean. If you're in a lapidary shop and you have any kind of film of dust or something from grinding, if you're cabbing or something, make sure you've cleaned your surface, because every little bit of grit and dust on your surface area, when it gets on parts of your machine, you may damage the machine. Certainly you're going to reduce its lifetime. So they pack these things really well. They've been doing it a while, so they know how to do it without having the machine break. If you look at how this thing is packed, once we take off some of the packing, we see right away the top of the machine, the platen area, splash pan. It's a Facetron owner's manual, and we're going to keep that handy. I like to go ahead and take the splash pan out. It contains your stops. Swarf tube, and we're just going to put that over here. So now we're pulling the base out. That can be a little bit tricky. What I'm going to do is use my finger, and you can see what I've done here. So I stuck my finger through this hole where the mast slots in. This is where the mast attaches to the base. I'm also holding the platen, so I get a really good grip on the machine. Put the box out of the way, and now we can start to work with this cardboard that's covering the base. Often you can just slip it out. Once you get a good grip on it, there's the base of your machine. Now it's going to have packing inside, so handle the base. Once you get it clear of the cardboard, handle the base always by the plywood. Tip it up carefully. Pull out your packing. And the cord will be neatly wrapped around the motor. You can see the drive pulley here that runs the platen. There's our base. Nice and clean. controller platen area. This is the nut that will hold on your laps. It's nicely padded with urethane. Helps save a lot of broken stones in case you should ever bump into it. So now let's look at the other parts. We also got a nice drip tank. That's going to go on here eventually. It's got this nice flexible hose on it. This is the transfer stand. Notice that everything is really well padded, and it's padded and stored underneath on the motor side and the plywood side of the base. The mast is going to rest right here on the base. It's going to travel here. And the base of the mast and how it mates to this base is really critical to the accuracy of the machine. So this particular part of the base plate right along here, it's really important to keep clean, well maintained, and free of any kind of debris. Anything, if it's possible to feel it, you always want to brush it away. I'm going to mention this again when we talk about disassembling the machine for shipment. It's really important if you pack the machine for shipment, don't package anything, even with padding, don't package anything on top of this part of the machine. I had a student who shipped a machine home from the academy one time and made the mistake of packing something on top here. And despite the fact that it had bubble wrap on it, the shocks of shipping caused the corner of it to penetrate the bubble wrap, and it made some really nasty dings right along here. And once you have any injury to this part of the surface of the machine, the entire base plate has to go back to the factory and be replaced, and that's rather expensive. So protect this part of your machine in particular. This is our transfer stand and a set of dops. Also a small dopping block are wrapped right in here. If you slice this with your razor knife, be really careful how you do it. You'll be able to save your bubble wrap. You also don't want to penetrate through the bubble wrap and cause any kind of scratching or injury to your precision transfer stand. So be really careful. This is another place where a really sharp knife is useful. And if your knife is a little bit dull, just replace the blade. It's much better to spend a second replacing the blade than it is to get frustrated, cut harshly, and scratch up or damage your transfer stand. This is the transfer stand. It's a high precision piece of equipment. Always take really good care of this thing. Don't let it fall on the ground. Don't bang it around. Don't mistreat it. This aligns your stone from pavilion to crown. And if you wind up mistreating this thing, you're going to have bad transfers, and every single stone you cut is going to be a little bit of a problem. At the beginning, these can be a little tight, so just handle them very carefully. They'll work beautifully. We have some Allen wrenches for a couple parts of the machine. We have a washer that's going to go underneath this nut, and we have the quill wrench that we use for, or the dop wrench for tightening up the quill so it holds the dops properly. And here's our complete set of dops, standard dops with a dopping block. Complete set of dops with a dop block makes them easy to handle. Now we're down to the mast, and the mast gets packaged and protected separately from everything else. This is another one of the keys to the precision of your modern fastening machine. You want to take really good care of this thing. No dings, no scratches, no abuse of any kind. And you notice it's packaged very carefully and separately. And again, I'm going to be very careful with this razor knife. I don't want to scratch anything. All I want to do is relieve the tape. Especially around the base of the mast. Don't get in a hurry, don't be careless. Faceting is largely about patience, and you want to begin with patience. So the base of the mast has a T-nut on it. This is what's going to retain the mast on your machine base. It comes covered with a nice tube to protect the mast sleeve. So once again, everything laid out very carefully. Don't let anything roll or bang. Those are the parts that are packed along with the base. So basically everything except the head is packed with the base. Splash pan, swarf tube, drip tank, mast, it's in two parts. Transfer stand, dot block, dop kit, and some wrenches and your washer. So the only thing we should find in here is the head and the 45-degree adapter. This is the head box. You might notice that I'm handling all the parts really carefully with two hands all the time. I don't want to get too John Wayne with anything, because then you go to dropping things, and depending on what your floor is made out of, you wind up with damaged machine parts. There's a lot of packing in with the head to protect it, because that's the core of your machine. Here's our 45 adapter block. Put that down. This is for cutting and polishing tables. And finally, this is the head. Now, the head comes with a lot of packing around it and a lot of bubble wrap. Again, you want to be really careful with your razor knife. Don't go cutting through the bubble wrap to the point where you scratch your machine up. It's got nice hard anodizing on it to protect it, and you don't want to take that protection away by damaging it. Notice I'm peeling this thing very carefully, layer at a time. I'm taking my time. No hurry. This isn't Christmas. Be very careful. Notice there's a little extra padding and wrapping on the dial indicator. Don't go wrenching on that unnecessarily. Find out where it's taped. Handle it a little surgically so you don't damage anything. There's our faceting machine head, factory new. Notice again, I handle everything with two hands. I never handle the head of a machine John Wayne fashion. It's always two hands. Always support the machine very carefully. I'm going to set this down on some of the bubble wrap that it came packaged in to protect it. Get the box out of the way. If your machine arrives with damaged boxes or with any parts that don't appear proper or anything that seems to be missing or dinged up or scratched or damaged, contact the Jarvie Tool Company. They're very friendly and they want to talk to their customers. They want to make sure that everybody's happy and that everything functions perfectly. They're very proud of their really great engineering and their really ergonomic and easy to use machine. They should be. It's a great machine. Now, Jeff personally asked me to emphasize that he's happy to talk to anyone with questions about the machine, so pick up the phone and give him a call. The next chapter is going to be about assembling your new Facetron.